All right, fuck it. Let's just start.
All right.
Lex Sadler, aka Sex Ladler,
AKA.
the legend. You are one of the first people I met when I moved to New York 15 years ago at Freestyle Mondays. And I was such a kid, and I thought you were so cool, playing in the coolest jam session in the world. And here we are 15 years later.
You got to know me and you realize none of that is true.
No, big disappointment. What? I mean, maybe describe your journey as a musician, coming to New York from Australia.
Got here in, April of 2007.
Wow.
So I was pretty active musically in Australia before I moved. I'd been in an original band, had albums, played at festivals, all of this stuff. And I just felt, okay, there's a need to try and go bigger. At least try it, right? Because to be honest, I was pretty comfortable back home. And my whole family is there and everything. And where I'm from in Perth, Western Australia, I mean, there's a lot of really good musicians there, right? But we have a tendency, because it is so far away from everything, we have a tendency to stay. It's a comfortable place. It's very far away from everything. And most Australians, at some point in their life, post-university, go to London. That's typically the Australian route. Go to London, try it out, come back home, settle, stay. And I never did that.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I knew I wanted to live in New York. And I visited once in 2004. I came here for 2.5 weeks. And I thought, okay, that's really where I want to go. But it's not, you don't just pick up and move. It's not that easy. There's visas, there's all of this kind of stuff.
When did the idea of New York come into your mind? It's
I don't know. I think my parents, my father's quite artistic and paints and sculpts. He was the one that got me into music originally. And I think my parents always had an affinity with the United States. And I was exposed to, music and art and all of this kind of stuff. And I used to watch, I'd watch American TV, and Dad and I would watch Letterman, and I'd be like, New York looks like the place I want to go. I think it was end of 2006, one of my clients, because I'm a graphic designer in my other life, they were opening an office here. So they said, do you want to come and open the office here? And I got a work visa.
Okay.
So that's how I got here.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
So you moved for work.
I moved for work.
Graphic design work. Okay.
But secretly was to do this. So I came over and got a place and had the job, which definitely helped.
Yeah. You're no stranger to this double life. When I met you, you were working full time. I think you quit the full-time work after a few years?
I did it for 6 years.
For 6 years.
I did it for 6 years. And the thing about Monday nights, Freestyle Mondays.
Yeah.
I mean, back then, there were Mondays where we started at 12:30 or 1 a.m.
Wow.
And we finished at 4.
Wow.
And then I would go home, get up the next morning, and go to work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Shout out Freestyle Mondays.
Shout out Freestyle Mondays. But to be fair, that really was the hub for a lot of things.
Yeah.
For all of the musicians in the improv scene. There's always the West Village covers scene and all of that kind of stuff, but I never really played covers. And I liked the idea of the improvs.
when I moved here, Yoni Alevi, he told me about this jam session.
Yeah.
And I came like the first week I got to New York, and I was blown away. And I think from that point, a few years forward, I came to Mondays every week.
Yeah.
And then a couple years into it, Il or Mariella offered me to play in the house band.
Yeah.
And I thought I made it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was more important probably than any other gig I could get back then, because there was so much like value to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the first time I walked in there. I think it was who did I see playing bass? Taurus Mateen. Do you know who he is?
No.
Like legendary like jazz players, played with all kinds of people. He had this weird like fretless bass. I walked in. It was upstairs and in that corner of the room.
Bar 13?
No, at Sinsin.
It's Sinsin, yeah.
And I remember walking in there and I'm like, oh, this is like something like pretty special.
Yeah.
And I don't think I definitely didn't play the first time I went there. I definitely didn't play, but it took me a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
To play it. But there was so many good I mean, Mitch Friedman was there. Yeah. I learned so much from Mitch.
Yuki.
From watching Mitch. Yuki, I feel like Yuki was a little later.
So that's probably when I started coming
in. Yuki was a little later. I don't really remember, but yeah, I mean, I met Ray. I met Ray there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I met Ari Honig there as well, like way back in the day. Yeah, I mean, it was a great thing to do. And I had the same feeling. I'm like, oh, I found it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, you know, nowadays, like with the prevalence of like everybody's on Instagram, everyone's kind of already somewhat connected with other people. But back then, we had MySpace.
Right, exactly.
And, you know, to find something like that was an uncovered gem.
Yes. Not only that, but if you were a musician who just moved to New York and wanted to make it, it was the only way. Yeah. There was literally no other options.
Yeah. But you weren't going to just you weren't going to find it online first.
Yes, exactly.
You had to hear it from someone else.
Yeah.
And I heard it from someone else.
I'm retrospectively so happy that I got to catch the last years of the truly analog world. And even like childhood, but also having moved here and been a musician that had to go out there and meet people and go all over town and just play.
That was kind of the end of it.
That was the end. We saw the end of it.
We saw the end of it. Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Now it's very different.
Yeah.
But, you know, the difference is that you had to prove yourself with people.
In real life.
In real life. Yeah. And, you know, you couldn't hide behind 50 takes.
Exactly.
And a perfectly curated environment.
Exactly.
You know, and yeah, for me, like it taught me so much about music and feel and like sensibility to like really listening and understanding the genre and also being creative in a repetitive situation. If you have to play the same loop jam for 15 minutes to go through 15 different MCs, how do you stay engaged in that? How do you make it creative? How do you create dynamic shifts? How do you feed off the personality difference between the last MC that was on and the next one that's on? You know, you learn all of those.
I had a band with Jonathan Levy, shout out, that we used to like improvise loops the same way you would in a jam session. And no matter what you started, if it's whack or not, you just commit. Yeah. And I feel like it's the same in any improvised, at least hip hop or loop based. So even the thought of, is it good or bad, is it whack or not, is it cool, just has to leave your head, and you have to commit with intention to whatever you're playing.
100%.
And that's teaches you a lot as a musician.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And you're still holding it down at Producer Mondays. Mm-hmm. Fucking Mondays.
Yeah, can't escape it.
Yeah.
The only time we did was with the lesson when it was on Thursdays.
Right.
It was like, but now it's Mondays again.
Yeah. That's a good segue to another question, but the two jam sessions are similar and different in their own unique ways, but they're also existing in very different times of New York and of the world. Mm-hmm. Maybe through the jam sessions, you can speak to the difference of
the world.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the difference of the world is as I was just talking about, is that you can establish yourself on a platform that's not the stage.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's really powerful for people that are not here. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people that are not, you know, we had to come here.
Right.
We had to show up.
Yeah.
And now you don't necessarily have to show up. And then when you do show up, there's also already some familiarity with who you are. It doesn't necessarily translate to being able to execute.
Right.
And I've seen situations where execution has been disappointing. Let's just put it that way. Right?
Yes. Give us names.
No, I won't give names, but it's just a difference.
Yeah.
It's just a difference now in how you develop as a musician. And I developed on stage.
Yeah.
And now there's, you know, for better or for worse, not always a need.
For worse.
Yeah, probably for worse.
I've played with you in so many different situations, and I know your adaptability is just immediate. It's like, okay, that's what this needs.
Yeah, well, that comes from having a lot of experience in different situations.
Tell me maybe about some of your experience. You don't have to even, like, you've played with Joey Badass, you've played with huge artists. About your experience in the, let's say, pop or popular music world, production world.
Well, going on tour is fun, to a point. That tour for me was so fun. I love that tour. But just because you do a tour with an artist, it's not going to be forever. There's very few forever gigs.
There are, yeah.
If any.
If any.
If any. And, you know, it really doesn't come down to how good a job you've done.
Yeah.
At all.
What does it come down to?
I think at the end of the day, it's numbers. And it's like, do the numbers make sense? And I think now it's a harder time than ever to tour. Mm-hmm. And artists are probably looking for more economical ways to do it. And audiences are not always the most discerning or care as much about who is on stage with their favorite artist. So there are other alternatives.
Yeah.
To live musicians being on stage.
You're very
That's just a reality.
Soft with your words.
But there's I really think it's true.
Yeah.
I really think it's true.
It's so weird being a musician, huh?
Well, really, just playing an instrument's not really enough. I mean, for me, one of the best decisions I made was to start working with Ableton.
Mm-hmm. Producing
and understanding how to run a live show.
Yeah.
How to run tracks, how to run visuals, how to do all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. You know?
I've seen you through the years really expand into so many things.
Yeah.
Like you're the guy, you can be the guy for bass, for key bass, for Ableton, for playback, for like you said, like lights, for MDing, for so many things.
Yeah, I just think you have to have more than one skill.
Yeah.
And versatility of coming into situations, identifying a problem and having a solution. Problem being we have a bass player, but we need this, right? Or we have this, but we need a bass player. It's also about ego and like, you know, I don't need to be the one on stage playing. I can be off stage doing this.
Yeah.
Right? I can put this together so that another bass player can go and play it. I mean, look at Adam Blackstone is a great example.
Yeah.
Amazing bass player is not always playing bass, but is responsible for 90% of like
of live music.
You know?
Yeah. One of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast is because, especially since the Charlie tour, I have a lot of like younger musicians, younger cats from all over the world just asking me questions like how, you know, any advice from musicians. So I wanted to bring you and other people to answer this question, because I think the nature of our work is so unstable and confusing still to us.
Yeah.
But if you do have any advice for a young musician trying to get in the game, what would it be? No. Yeah, that's the truth, though. That's the truth.
I mean, I don't have all the 30 years of doing this. Like, I don't have any answers.
Yeah.
I have experiences, and I have changed the way I deal with experiences. I think the hardest thing is learning how to deal with the wide range of successes and failures you're going to have in your career, and to remember that the failures you have might not always be personal.
Yes.
They might never be personal. It might never be a result of your ability. It may not have anything to do with your character or your work ethic or anything like that.
Yeah.
It could be a totally random reason that comes from a place that seems absolutely insane. And what you need to do is be able to filter out those circumstances and not take it personally, where you feel like the only thing you want to do is give up.
Right. That's good advice, man. That's good
because
advice.
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And it's going to happen for no good reason.
Right.
And you're going to get the best gig you could ever hope for. And you're going to do an amazing job.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get fired. And you're not going to understand why.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're going to want to, you know, you're going to have to answer to your friends and peers as to why are you not, what happened? Why are you not doing that anymore?
Yeah.
And not have a good answer.
Once your name gets attached to a gig, yeah.
And then, you know, put yourself back out there again to a community that now thinks you're too busy.
Right.
Or unavailable.
Yeah.
Or, well, he only does those gigs. Like, or you need to find ways to supplement income.
That's real shit.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
In many ways, maybe we can say it's like the practice of detachment, but like detaching from the highs and the lows, or more so learning how to just stay even keel and balanced.
You have to.
When it's high, when you're on that huge stage, on that big gig, it's beautiful, but it's not yours, and it will pass, right? When you're low, it's not yours in the same way that it will. That too will pass, and something else will come.
Yeah.
But the music life, I think, really puts us to the test and challenges us with those highs and lows.
Yeah, I think so too, because, you know, we're not in a profession where there is a linear progression.
Yeah. Not at all.
You could study, do incredibly well in school, be incredible musician, come out, get no work, watch people that you think are, you know, maybe not as good or whatever, do all of these amazing things. But then you also have to remember you're only viewing, when you're looking at what people are doing on Instagram, you're only viewing a very narrow slice.
Yes.
You don't see all of the stuff that goes on. And it's like one thing you have to detach yourself from your own highs and lows, but also detach yourself from other people's highs.
Yes.
Because you're not seeing their lows.
Right.
And if you just see their highs and highs and highs and you go, oh man, I could do that. Why am I not doing that? Is there something wrong with me? Probably not.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Maybe they knew someone that knew someone that knew someone, whatever it is. You know, and they'll get to the end of that engagement and maybe they'll do it again. Maybe they'll get fired for not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to deal with that themselves, but they're not.
And then you'll be on a gig. But that's when you realize we're all so much in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we kind of are.
I always think of like the highs and lows of tour, of like everyone just seeing the 1 minute on Instagram on stage. But I really want to, to make a video or something of like the 30 minutes before backstage where everyone's just exhausted on Instagram. And then the 1 hour after the show where everyone's just like crying in their hotel room. Like,
I did a halftime performance at Barclays for the NBA All-Star Weekend. This is many years ago, right? In a stadium full of people, celebrities, all of this shit, right? It was a miming gig. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right? It was a miming gig and we had to be there. The performance was like 7:30. We had to be there at noon.
Shit.
Right? The dressing room is literally in the bowels of the stadium. They had no seating for us. Right? So there's nowhere to actually go up and sit and watch anything. $100 gig, by the way.
No.
$100 gig.
$100?
Yeah, $100, right?
That's
so, you know, you're there for like 8 hours for $100.
Getting paid $100. It's crazy.
Really, I did it back then because it was going to look good for the visa, right?
Yeah.
But you're kind of just sitting there like,
yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget at the end of the night, we were meant to have a car service. And they said to us, well, all the cars are out. So you can wait an hour if you want for the cars to come back in. And I'm like, I'll take the subway. And I get on the subway and I have my bass. I've just played in a stadium on national television. I'm riding the subway home.
Wow.
And
that's so real.
Yeah. And, you know, there's like, I remember what I really distinctly remember. There's some kids on the train and they're talking about music and all of this stuff. And they see me sitting there with the bass and I'm like, please don't talk to me. And they start talking to me. Oh yeah, you know, we're here, we're students, blah, 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 blah. You know, what do you play? I go, yeah, I play. And he's like, he was kind of schooling me a little bit. And he's like, do you have like SoundCloud and YouTube and all of this stuff? And I'm like, yeah,
bro,
I was like, yeah, no. I was like, don't ask. I'm like, yeah, you know, I have that. He's like, you should really use that. It'll help you get your name out there. I go, okay. I'm like, okay. And I'm like,
perfect.
I'm like, please don't ask me. And he's like, did you play a show tonight?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, where did you play? I'm like, I just played at Barclays for the All-Star Weekend halftime show. He was like, oh. I said, but thanks for the advice.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my $100 and ride home on the train. But, look.
I think that's a perfect story because it's like the highest high, the lowest low, all at the same fucking 2-hour gap. And that's what being a musician is.
That's what being a musician is about. It's taking shitty pay to play on a massive stage.
Yeah.
Or it's taking no pay to play on a small stage with your best friends and play some incredible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's about taking some good money with your good friends to play some shitty music.
Yeah.
And if you can get all three, nice big stage, great music with your great friends, your homies, amazing.
You're the luckiest.
Yeah, of course.
That rarely happens.
Yeah. It rarely happens, or it does, and then you just go back to like...
Yeah.
And it's just dealing with like the ups and downs. Yeah. It's not easy, man. But you really have to detach from your ego, your own ego too.
Exactly. It's really a constant lesson of it's humbling. It's truly
very
humbling.
It's truly humbling.
You're just humbled by life.
Yeah, you're humble. Yeah, but
getting slapped left and right.
Look, we're in a city where so many people can play.
Yeah.
Everyone can play. There's degrees of like, it's not really degrees of ability. It's like degrees of character that you bring to your instrument.
Right.
And for me, I think the most important advice that I would give a young musician is to find your character.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it before on a different podcast. I've said it. Oh, yeah. But I talked about like finding your voice.
Yeah.
And it's like drawing on all your influences, like not trying to be, you don't want to come out of Berkeley and like try and be Thundercat, the next Thundercat, because we have Thundercat.
Right.
Right? But you could take elements from that and mix it from, but it's really about like learning who you are and trying to express that on the instrument and not trying to be.
I fully agree.
And
who you are as a human. It's
who
work
you are
on the human level.
Absolutely. But I can understand, like, look, we run arguably the most popular jam night in the city, and people want to come and play and network, and I can understand frustration if you don't get on stage or like you don't get, the jam that you get to play isn't like maybe what you want or whatever, but there's so much more to be learned from being in the room and listening to what's going on and meeting people and all that kind of stuff.
But that took me so many years to realize. I see the young cats at Producer Mondays or anywhere, and like their thirst to play and get on stage and play everything they practiced this week. And I think when you get older, you just see through that. And on the flip side, if I see someone just playing pocket or playing the simplest thing, but like looking at everyone and smiling, I'm like, that's... Vibe and listening goes such a long way. Yeah. That goes the furthest for me. Mm-hmm. I'll always pick I would much rather play with, I don't know, I don't want to say lesser skilled, but like, I want to play simply. Yeah. I want to play simply and tastefully. Mm-hmm. And I'd want to play with musicians that also have the same mindset. Mm-hmm. Because I think that's like, I don't know, I feel like that's what I would want to hear. Exactly. Like, unless I'm really going to see someone specifically. But, Thundercat is a great example because he's calm. Mm-hmm. And when he sat in with us, he just played like real pocket, like, he didn't have to be Thundercat. Right. And he just played what felt right. Mm-hmm. And that's a great lesson for anyone that comes. Wow. Yeah. And even when someone like Thundercat plays a lot or busy, I feel like it comes from a place of pure intention and energy. Authenticity. Exactly. Yeah. And not for the sake of chops or impressing. Totally. Yeah. That's the difference. You could play a lot of notes, but where does it come from? Yeah. And why? Well, maybe this is it. Yeah, maybe this is it. Thank you for being my first... Can I ask you some questions? Next time. Thank you for being my first guest on my podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me as your first guest.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
We're about to play like 5 gigs next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.